It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it's the Memphis Grizzlies as they'll be playing against the Boston Celtics. Taking a look at the Celtics, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. And Al Horford, who's the leader of this team, we'll be seeing him tonight. Shaq, can a team with Al Horford as their best player win it all?
Well, I love the Dominican Dominator. No disrespect to him, but I think it'll be hard to build around a player like Mr. Horford. You know, he's really good, does everything on the court at a high level, but I don't think he is an elite player yet. But he's still the Dominican Dominator. I still love the guy, but I don't think he's that guy yet.
Well, I love the Dominican defender. I think overall that he's best served as a second option, who at times can become your first option, the Dominican defender.
You know our first option to call this game?
Who's that?
Kevin Harlan. Yeah, true.
Is he Dominican?
Yes, well, that's a little known fact.
Let's meet your Memphis Grizzlies. Starting at power forward, at 6'9", number 0, Jermaine Green. Starting at point guard, 6'4", number 4. And 6'9", number 23.
Get ready! Win!
Number 25.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the Boston Celtics come in for this one. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Back to the road tomorrow as this is the final game of the Grizzlies homestand.
All right, ready to go?
And of course, Avery Bradley. This will be their second game without him.
And his fans, teammates, there are a lot of people that I'm sure are sad to see him go, given all that he's brought to the table. But I like what the trade does for them. I bet it helps them right off the bat, not to mention in the long term.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Thomas and Smart, the feisty backcourt pairing. Hayward out there with Horford, and it's Baines in at the center.
And for me, one of the more unsung players in the league, Al Horford, a two-time national champion at the University of Florida, one of the most skilled and versatile big men in our league, and he hasn't gotten the attention I believe he deserves.
A nice shot by Baldwin.
And they get the first bucket.
It's a nice beginning to this one for them. You always want to try to seize the moment early on in the game.
At the elbow, Horford. He kicks it to Hayward. Horford with a screen on Parsons. Hayward passes to Horford from deep. The rebound by Gasol. On defense, the Celtics. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of Miami.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Well, yeah, they gave up a ton of open looks as the shots kept dropping. The place just kept getting loud.
And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Baldwin the pass to McLemore. Parsons up top, shot off the pick, and the jumper is on the mark. Here's Thomas. And you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average. Thomas a screen. Pass to Hayward. Pulls from the top of the key. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Well, that was an awful screen. He didn't seem like he wanted to do it, and as a result, the set failed.
They get it back. Gasol dishes to Parsons. Count it. Good.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
The Celtics have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Thomas kicks to Hayward. And it's Hayward again missing.
After 4 shots, they are still without a made field goal.
Green passes to Parsons. McLemore dishes to Parsons. To the inside. Green. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And as we reach this point of the season, teams pretty much know what to expect when they go up against each other.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why when it comes down now, it comes down to ad-libbing. Who can counterpunch? Who can employ their will on the other team? You really got to just, appreciate the fact that these teams are so good, and you just got to make sure you play your best every night.
Yeah. That free throw, no good. And the Celtics gravitate towards scrappy players. They like guys, Chris, who can carry a chip on their shoulder.
Well, come on. That's been a common thread for this young team. Toughness, grit, and passion. A lot of their players were overlooked in the past, came to Boston, ticked off, and looked to prove a point.
Good on the second free throw. Celtics trail by 9. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Over to the wing. Outside Thomas. 6 on the shot clock. Picked him clean. Passes it to McLemore. Pulls up on the elbow. And Boston with the rebound.
They don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Well, Chris, you did what many players coming into the NBA do. You spend a year or 2, in your case 2 years in college, before making the jump. It worked out terrifically for you. But how do you feel about how things are set up now with the age limit in the NBA as it stands?
I feel, hey, if you're old enough to vote, if you're old enough to go to war, then you should be old enough to play in the NBA. And so that's the rights aspect of it. Now, as far as a basketball fan and somebody that knows this game fairly well, I feel that guys coming in so young, it really hurts their game. We talk about guys making it from high school to the pros, or guys coming out their first year, but not many of them really are successful. Yeah, we glorify the ones that are successful, and we should, because it's such a phenomenal feat to come out your first or second year and play well in the NBA. And so to take it for granted and to expect every kid that comes out, those years to make it is just unfair. And so for me, I think guys should have the chance to, but I think it's more of a responsibility with that freedom of decision making, because once you lose that chance, you usually don't get a second one. And you want to be as mature physically and mentally before trying to make the jump into this league.
Great perspective. While we're on a short break, we've got some time to break down the steal leaders at the shooting guard position over the last month. The 4th spot held by Marcus Smart.
And this is a very intense group. I mean, those steals don't come by accident. I mean, they've gotten them through the effort, and they're willing to expend that kind of energy on that aspect of the game.
And how are they doing it? A collective team effort on D. They are as active on that side of the floor as they are on offense.
And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Here's Baldwin. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Utah. And there's Parsons on the assist by Green. Parsons got 9.
How about the start that they've gotten off to here? Huge lead, and we're still in the first quarter.
I mean, they've really owned this game so far. Dominant performance all around for them.
Here's Baines. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
So great in that pick and roll. Thomas, a real threat, and he's a threat that delivers the assist.
Good-looking screen by Gasol. Green kicks to Parsons. Memphis moving that ball around. Gasol. The shot that time not on target. Now Boston takes it the other way. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Memphis this season.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You won't always bring your A game, but I think that loss last season surprised them. It may motivate them for this one.
And so it's Memphis with it. Isaiah Thomas unable to get his last shot to go. Pass to Parsons, and stolen by Hayward. And now with the fast break, Smart with the ball, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
With a guy as strong as Smart, tough to contain him without fouling. If you play straight up and down, he'll go right through you.
And Marcus Smart, a combo guard. He hasn't really established himself yet as a big-time scorer or a playmaker. But you know what, Chris? You ask his coaches, and he finds a way to impact the game.
Oh, yeah, he sure does. He's a rugged defender. He's also one of the best rebounding guards in this league, especially on the offensive glass.
He's off on the first.
Now, when you think about Marcus Smart, the 6th overall pick by the Celtics in 2014 after 2 seasons at Oklahoma State. Shooting has been the question mark. Those percentages are definitely not pretty, and it's about shot selection as well as his ability to knock them down.
Good on the second free throw. And for Marcus Smart's improvement as a player, Chris, what do you think is the first order of business?
I think it's a shooting. This team has other players who can distribute the ball. Whether he ends up playing point or off the ball, his ability to score efficiently will be critical.
Now here's McLemore. Last game we saw him score 14. And another miss by Memphis. Celtics trail by 7. A shot by Hayward, wide open. Goes back up, and Gasol sends it back. Baldwin the pass to Parsons, to the inside, and stolen by Horford. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. Hayward leading the charge. That one falls.
Oh, nice look there from Smart, finding the open man.
So it's the Grizzlies now. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
And I don't care how much you grind it out defensively. When you shoot it that poorly, you're going to struggle to win games.
Yeah, but they could have moved the ball better as well. The shot selection was poor offensive execution.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Oh, that was sweet, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Not only can he set up others, but he can also be a big-time finisher.
And David Aldridge spoke with Brad Stevens. David?
Well, Kevin, he expects their interior defense to be airtight. He said rim protection is something we really do well. Our ability to contest shots allows us to become more aggressive on the perimeter. Makes it a win-win. We'll see if all of that holds up for them tonight. Back to you.
Wonderful, Dave. Thanks. They're thinking about their defense right off the bat here.
Yeah, great thought, really, to have coming out of the locker room. Worry about making stops first and foremost. Let the offense take care of itself.
Well, and it's something under your control. If you give the effort, if your guys are communicating with one another, you know you can come out and play great defense.
And last year, really a series of highs and lows for Marc Gasol. Re-signed with the Grizzlies, that max deal, and obviously the hopes were that they could make a championship run. And once the season started, the Grizzlies underperformed. I mean, right out of the gate, and then just before the All-Star break, Gasol breaks his foot, and not at all how he'd imagine things would go. So I think, though, he used that for motivation to come back this year with a spectacular season.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Davis is checked in for JaMychal Green. Harrison comes in for Parsons. Daniels, he's checked in for McLemore. And it's Chalmers in for Baldwin. Now, here is Morris. His last outing, he had 8 points. And Thompson gets it to go.
Well, he wasn't blocked out. He stayed with the play. You gotta love the effort.
And the Grizzlies leading by 7. And talking about Gasol's injury last season, he fills up the box score in so many ways in all the categories. Greg, almost impossible to replace that kind of production.
On the court, in the locker room, the community, he's one of those guys who contributes to every facet of your franchise. He's also a great teammate, and physically and mentally, you can count on him to be a warrior for you every night. Now, in his 30s, though, he has to try and take care of his body and maintain that a little bit better.
And finished off by Gasol.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
Gasol with the steal. There's Harrison, defended by Crowder. Daniels dishes to Gasol. A lot of great young talent, Chris, coming in the game. Who could be the face of the league in a few years, do you think?
Well, I really like Towns and Wiggins. I really like this Minnesota team. I think their team can become a fan favorite as we see the game go on. Also, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
How about Kyrie Irving? Just won a championship. How about Davis, Anthony Davis? I just think we have some great young talent. Excited to see what the future holds.
So fun. First one falls for him. And so Marc Gasol nails both of them. And the Grizzlies, one of the top contenders in the West for a number of years, now at a bit of a crossroads. What do you think?
Yeah, every team goes through this. There's a certain life cycle to any roster. The good news for the Grizzlies fans is that their front office has been right more often than not. We'll see if they can continue to pull another rabbit out of their hat. Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here, and every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
The other angle is up to their aggressiveness on drives. They have to create the contact, maybe live at the free throw line for a while.
Brandon Wright's checked in for Marc Gasol.
Now let's take a quick look at the numbers for Crowder. He's averaging 11 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Thompson outside. And Larkin now atop the key. 5 to shoot. There's Brown with the 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Chalmers with it. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Right against Thompson. From 12 feet out. And it's Wright missing. Celtics trail by 11. Brown kicks to Thompson. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Thompson's got his second basket of the game.
And the skills of Brown, not just a super athlete, but a tremendous floor general as well.
Here's Harrison, defended by Crowder. Here's Chalmers. A rebound by Thompson.
Oh, we've seen him posterize guys with that move many times. However, the defense proved to be very stifling.
Morris passes to Larkin. Shoots. And off target as he starts the game 0 for 1. Right inside. He's covered by Thompson. And he banks in the layup. And the Grizzlies lead by 11.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Well, they came to play today. It's still too early, but they really have put their foot down on their opponent so far.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
To the middle, it's deflected. Crowder with the steal. No one near him. And Davis pulls it down. Memphis leading by 9. Here's Harrison. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Harrison's got his first bucket of the night. 1:41 left to play in the first quarter. Now Brown looking for his first basket still in this one. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And Brown is superb at just keeping focus. Despite what the D throws at him, he gets the job done.
Now here's Chalmers. 1:11 left in the first quarter. Harrison passes to right. There's Harrison. 3 on the clock. Doesn't go that time. Some solid defense from Brown. .56 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The screen from Thompson to the paint, off the screen.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
And here's Daniels. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. It's Brown with the drive. That one doesn't drop. And the Grizzlies leading by 9. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Davis, the pass to Harrison. The baseline J. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Marcus Morris picks one up there. The Grizzlies shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And when you look at that free throw percentage on the season, they're right around 73%.
First free throw is good. And he makes the first but misses the second.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
A 3 ball. Larkin can't get it to go. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Grizzlies lead by 10. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler Bulldogs. He talked about the challenge of making that decision.
The only hard part of that decision is leaving a place that you really loved for 13 years. I couldn't have left without knowing that it was a place that we were going to stay together and really commit to a process together. And I was sold on that, and I continue to be sold on it.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks locked in his stockpile.
I know he's feeling real good about his decision. He's one of the bright coaching stars in our league.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
It's all about their defense. They have just done a terrific job of negating the timing and spacing of their opponent.
Oh, yeah, great communication. The guys are quick and rotating help and playing with a lot of energy.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Baldwin out there with McLemore. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Green, and it's Gasol. And at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And a crafty pass into the lane, perfectly executed.
Here's Thomas. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Inside. And with that shot, the Grizzly lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Baines.
Oh, the assist from Thomas, finding the open man. Nice decision offensively.
And Isaiah Thomas, of course, Chris, known for his scoring wizardry, but he's working to become an all-around player.
He's looking to become more of a facilitator. He wants to make the simple plays as well as the spectacular ones. Also, defensively, he's been making strides. He's watched a ton of film. A student of the game, he's not content to just put up buckets.
Here's Green, and that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
And the precision lead pass by a highly skilled playmaker.
This will be his third free throw shot of the game.
72% at the line this season. He has yet to set himself apart in that department.
Free throw, no good for Green. And this is a young Celtics team. Even the vets still just entering their prime years. Chris, they've built from within, and what a great environment to develop in.
I mean, come on, one of the best. A great tradition and history of winning. A passionate and knowledgeable fan base. A committed ownership and front office. The players are given everything they need to be successful.
Shooting two, gentlemen.
And the first one at the line is good. Chris, so often we'll see one play in a game that seems to change the mentality, the momentum, the feel on the floor. As a player, do you feel it when one play, just one play, can alter the mood of a game, change the pace of a game?
Well, yeah, Kevin, you can definitely feel it. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you're trying to invoke it, implore it. You're trying to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you see someone that gets a big steal when you need one and you guys have been, you know, plotting for it on the sideline in the huddle, or if you see a guy hit a big three that ties up the game and, you know, it's a 17-4 run and it makes everyone believe, and then the roar of the crowd and how that goes, you know, momentum is definitely tangible. You know, when you see someone get dunked on and one poster, take the lead up by one, crowd goes crazy. You know, I believe, you know, it actually affects you physically.
Yes.
You know, your heartbeat, your pulse, you know, your endorphins, your adrenaline, everything gets going. So, yeah, you definitely can feel when the play alters the mood of the game.
Great way to put it. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Mike Conley, the point guard, keeps a very stoic disposition on the court. He said so much of the game is mental, and that's one thing that I've always wanted to be good at. Never let your opponent see that you're in duress. So if I make a big game-time bucket or if I miss a shot, you'll see the same mannerisms. I move on to the next play. Real poker face, Kevin.
I like that attitude, D.A. Thank you. So it's the Grizzlies now, after Marcus Smart missing on that last three-pointer. Baldwin the pass to Gasol. Here's Baldwin. Puts up a three. The shot missing. Good D by Thomas. Here's Smart. 11 points for him in that last game against Miami. Picked by Horford. Thomas dishes to Horford from downtown. The Grizzlies pull it in. Gasol's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Kicks it out to Parsons. Now the pass to Baldwin. Parsons with a screen on Hayward.
If he can find himself out there, his team will be in fantastic shape to get this win.
Thomas, no good. Memphis leading by 13. Gasol passes to Baldwin. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Baldwin's got 6.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Strong fundamentals right there. He didn't consider the height disadvantage too long. Instead, he just went right at him and sunk it in his grill, in the face.
And Chandler Parsons returning from that hybrid microfracture knee surgery to start last season. That doesn't sound very good, does it, partner? But they said the injury was in the best possible spot. And, you know, while he was on a minutes limitation for a while, he bounced back nicely and only got stronger as the season wore on. It's really good to see this young man flourishing out on the floor because he is going to be very valuable to the success for this team.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Thomas kicks to Horford. Thomas down low. Out to Hayward. But they'll get another chance. Thomas dishes to Baines. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Parsons, a player who had logged heavy minutes with his time with the Houston Rockets last season, for the first time playing under a minute's restriction.
Yeah, and that was in the past, but he's proven his value. He's a guy you want to keep healthy and on the floor.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And the one thing you can say about the Grizzlies, year after year, defense has been their calling card. I mean, they do it with toughness, they do it with pace, and they have tremendous heart.
Now here's Parsons. He's coming off a 13-point game against Utah. Here's Green, and Green slams it in.
And Kevin, plays like that, really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Look at them. They are really into it.
But that's all about going back to the fundamentals. Defensive rebounding, you got to have it, especially when you're getting waxed.
And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and back court for Boston.
And their guards are taking on the majority of the passing and assisting for the team. Just as you might expect, the bigs doing their part by getting to good spots inside and making themselves available.
Outside Thomas. Here's Horford. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. You know, discussing the Grizzlies defense, it wasn't quite as locked down last year, Greg, as it had been.
Yeah, and the thing about playing good defense, it requires everyone to be on the same page. One weak link can cause a breakdown for the whole unit. And factor in the injuries for the Grizzlies last season, it's somewhat surprising their defense held up at all. And it had been something that had been talked about in the past via trade, but Al Horford joined Boston in the offseason via free agency. It was the fit that he wanted team-wise, and Horford was ready for a new challenge. So great fit with this roster and the city of Boston.
Now here's Hayward. A 24-point outing in their last game against Miami.
Don't forget about his playmaking. Kept his head up. Found his teammates all night.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. And Al Horford got a max deal to come to the Boston Celtics, GA. He's on the wrong side of 30, but when you look at his game, his all-star resume, you don't see a real sharp decline coming.
Great point, Kevin, and that's why the Celtics were willing to give Horford the contract they gave him. It was one of the bigger free agent names on the market. You knew that the Celtics would want to make a splash in free agency, and he was their guy.
For Boston, they have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
And it's been an average year, really, at the free throw line for this group, only around 75%.
At 6'4", 220 pounds, Marcus Smart might be the most physically imposing point guard in the league, especially with his fiery approach to the game.
And he sinks the second. Chris, you're a Detroit product through and through. Grew up in the area and played for the University of Michigan. Did growing up in Detroit impact at all how you played the game?
Oh, man, definitely. You know, growing up on the west side of Detroit, I just, you know, everybody in Detroit were Pistons fans. So, number one, that influenced me a big time. It's funny, Isaiah was my favorite player, and after he won the MVP a couple of times, he would always say, "Hi, Mom. Hey, Mom. Hi, Mom." So that's why after every game, I actually did it. It was influenced that way. And Chuck Daly, he was a mentor to me. He knew me in high school, but as I grew older, his relationship meant a lot to me. So I can't thank, you know, Isaiah and Rick Mahorn. You know, I met those guys in high school. I can't thank them enough for their positive influence on me. Guys like John Sally and of course, Joe Dumars. So played for other teams, but as a fan, I always grew up a Pistons fan.
Like that. And so it's Boston with it. Grizzlies making the shot. Hayward outside. The three. Tries again. And with that shot, the Grizzly lead is cut to just 11 on the basket from Horford.
He's nailing a lot of his attempts right now. This might end up being a big game for him.
Baldwin the pass to Green. Here's Baldwin, guarded by Horford. Clock at 6. Here's Parsons, and Parsons slams it in.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Celtics trail by 13. And there's the feed to Horford. Thomas a screen. Horford kicks to Smart. From past the arc. They grab their own miss. Baines. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Marc Gasol.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach. Driving and drawing. Initiating contact. Create opportunities. Get to the line.
Celtics have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game. The first free throw is good.
Now in 2013, the Celtics began their rebuild in earnest. Right away, they made some great moves hiring Brad Stevens from the college ranks to take over as head coach. And also, a terrific trade with Brooklyn, getting 3 first-round picks and the right to swap picks in exchange for Garnett and Paul Pierce.
So Memphis ends up going with the new group. And you talk about that trade with the Nets. Looking back, what a trade for the Celtics.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, Brooklyn's run with Pierce and KG was short-lived, and as their fortunes have waned, it's been one heck of a windfall for these guys in green. So many young assets. You knew they had to make some moves just to fit their roster limitations.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. To the paint, stolen by Chalmers. Down low, here's Wright, and Wright throws it down.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
Now, here is Davis. Following the miss by Marcus Morris. And Wright kicks to Daniels. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Morris dishes to Larkin. And the wide open shot from Crowder. Boston again missing. And the Grizzlies leading by 15. Chalmers with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's Davis finishing it off.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint. Larkin, the pass to Morris. Kicks to Crowder. Expanding his range. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
And here's a look at the stats for Morris. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's putting up about 8 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
And Chalmers kicks to Daniels. Wright with a screen on Brown. Back to Chalmers. And that'll be Memphis as it goes out of bounds. Grizzlies retain possession. And we have some time now to show you which rookies have the greatest impact offensively over the course of the last month. 5th is Jaylen Brown.
And those numbers have started to set him apart offensively from most of the other rookies in the league.
Here's Harrison. 11 points for him in that last game against Utah.
And he also drew a lot of fouls, forcing the defense to react to his aggressive style of play.
Larkin kicks to Baines. Morris outside. The putback. It's good on the putback. Brown's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Exceptional instincts on the offensive boards and didn't try to slam it home. Tipping it in was all he needed.
And Chalmers kicks to Davis. Here's Harrison. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Celtics trail by 15. Brown wide open. He fires. No good with the triple. 1:57 left to play here in the second quarter. And that one's good. Harrison.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
And Boston has possession. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. And that'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Now here's Crowder. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Now here's Chalmers. Guarded closely. To the left side wing. And it's Wright missing.
You were shocked when he misses open shots like that. The D should be thanking their lucky stars right now.
Brown outside. The three-pointer is right on target. Brown's got 7.
Wow, he had a rough first quarter, but he didn't let it get him down. He's gotten off to a hot start in this second period.
Now here's Chalmers. He's guarded closely, and Wright throws it down.
Not a tall, towering guy for a center, but boy, he can really get up.
51 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Larkin, defended by Chalmers. Feeds it to Morris. And a miss there on the triple.
He has been just terrible this game, a real negative for his team.
And there's the foul. It's on Jaylen Brown. That is his first foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Thompson, he's checked in for the Celtics. 27 seconds left in the first half of the game. Daniels dishes to Wright, and Wright throws it down hard.
And a crafty pass into the lane, perfectly executed.
Here's Larkin, defended by Chalmers. Larkin kicks to Thompson. Here's Larkin. Morris outside. Again, the miss by Morris. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. It's the Grizzlies up by 16. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have amped up home crowd joining us for our halftime report. Ernie Johnson with the illustrious Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It was Marc Gasol setting the pace in the first quarter. He had 14 points, 2 block shots, and 12 big-time rebounds. Kenny, what do you think about the Grizzlies?
What a true demonstration of dominance. They made a commitment to owning the glass, and they made good on it. Blocking out, competing hard in traffic, that's the way you should play on both ends of the court.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Celtics?
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, that'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
That, sadly, wraps up the halftime show.
No.
The third quarter set to begin in just a few. We'll see you right here, though, after the game, so you have that to look forward to.
Kenny had so much more to say.
Welcome back, folks. Pleased to have you with us tonight again here at the FedEx Forum in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. It's been a clinic out there by Marc Gasol.
He's just been terrific. This is what they needed from him.
Earning a double-double for the night is awesome, but doing it in one half, he is out hustling everybody.
And so it's Boston with it. They trail by 16. Second half underway. Here's who Brad Stevens got on the floor. Thomas and Smart, the feisty backcourt pairing. Aaron Baines out there with Horford, and it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. Smart, and it's Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. Gasol, a screen on Thomas. Now McLemore. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Bucket is good. McLemore's got the first bucket of the third here for Memphis.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And Celtics coach Brad Stevens, a big believer, Chris, in keeping things as simple as he can for the players.
And very focused. From the first day when he took over, he showed the players the numbers of where the team had to get better. Just as important, he showed them how thin a margin separated them from being the top seed or missing the playoffs completely. That breeds confidence, but also focus. They realize how every play matters.
And it goes down 2 points. Parsons got 13.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Picked by Horford. On its way from Hayward for 2. That one no good. Parsons with some nice D.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Gasol passes to Baldwin. Shot clock at 5. And it's sent back by Horford.
Wow, the rim protection by Horford. I mean, Al Horford standing 6'10", always played bigger.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Now here's McLemore. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Parsons outside. Memphis moving it around. Baldwin can't get it to go. Celtics trail by 16. Thomas kicks to Horford. Rejected by Gasol. Pulls up. The Grizzlies with another miss.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not wise to take that shot in that situation. He'll think better of it next time around.
Now here's Smart. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. And Parsons kicks to Gasol. That's in, coming off the assist from Parsons. Parsons got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now a timeout called by Boston.
Timeout. Timeout. Start it.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
And they may have to address a number of things, including whether this is the right lineup.
And a look here at the shot chart.
What a display we've seen from them so far. Every half open look they've gotten, they've knocked down and show no signs of letting up. Right now, they are in the driver's seat. As long as they can keep their rhythm on offense, they'll just steamroll this team the rest of the way.
Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Picked by Horford. Thomas dishes to Horford. Buries it from 3-point range. Horford's got 12 points in the game.
And that's what Horford can open things up for the whole team offensively. I mean, that's where he can. Off the catch and shoot, bottoms up.
Parsons outside. Over in the corner, Green. And he converts the layup. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
There's a screen. Here's Horford. It's rebounded by Gasol.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And it's in there.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Outside Thomas. Horford sets a screen for Thomas. The 3-pointer no good.
And he has slipped into a funk. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, everybody goes through slumps. He can't let it get to him, though. Everyone makes mistakes on the floor. You just have to always be thinking about the next play.
Here's Baldwin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. On its way from Parsons for 2. Isaiah Thomas pulls it in. Thomas got his 4th rebound in this one. Hayward outside. Outside Thomas. Baines inside. He's against Green.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Celtics trail by 19. Three-pointer, Hayward. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. 10 points for Gordon Hayward.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders. And I tell you what, Gordon Hayward just steadily has grown into one of the better offensive players in the league. He does a great job of scoring it off the dribble. He's also at that small forward position, can be kind of a point forward, if you will, with his playmaking ability. And I like to call him, use a baseball term, he's like a 5-tooler. I mean, he does all the things you want a basketball player to do well on the floor. And to cap it all off, he is a great teammate as well.
Talking about Hayward's versatility on offense, some would say his ability to cover smaller, quicker players defensively is another reason his star is on the rise.
His ability to get stops on the ball as well as provide quick help to his teammates is really priceless. The question now is ceiling. How much better overall can Hayward get? Some think he's more of a number 2 guy than a superstar. Some will tell you the sky's the limit.
Jason Thompson, he's checked in for Boston. And he can't hit the second.
And Horford, a pretty steady free throw shooter. I mean, he had a few down seasons, maybe due to those pectoral tears, but I tell you what, he's been right up there around 80%.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And Greg cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes. But guys, the defense knows he has this ability, correct? Yet no one thinks to put a body on him? Incredible.
He's made 2 of his 3 attempted tonight. And he makes the first. And the Grizzlies with some changes. Brandon Wright's checked in for Jermichael Green. Troy Daniels comes in for Chandler Parsons. And it's Chalmers in for Baldwin. Boston also with the sub. Crowder, he's checked in for Smart. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Memphis leading by 15. And here is Chalmers. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Great D that time from Thomas. Boston's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the 3rd quarter. Here's Crowder. Boston, no good that time either.
Not his forte. I don't care how open you are. He should not be taking that shot.
Thomas against Chalmers. And there's the foul, and it's on Jason Thompson. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Boston making a switch here. Brown's checked in.
Substitution for the Celtics.
Here's Chalmers. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Celtics trail by 15. There's the dish to Brown. He feeds it to Thomas. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for Gasol. 5th in blocks, 7th in scoring, and don't forget top 20 in the league in rebounds per game. He's got a great nose for the ball.
And the Grizzlies leading by 15. Chalmers with it. He dishes it to McLemore. The kick out to Wright. There's the pick. Gasol against Brown. That's good from Gasol, and the assist from McLemore. Gasol's got 6 here in this quarter.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Thompson, a screen on Chalmers. And Thomas, here we go. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
Wow, and like all great scorers, Thomas never fazed by a little defensive pressure.
Here's Chalmers, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's McLemore, dishes it to Daniels. The baseline jumper goes down. And the Grizzlies lead by 17.
And you like the discipline he shows, recognizing the size mismatch. Immediately rises up and pulls the trigger.
The screen from Thompson. For three, Hayward. That shot off. And it's Memphis the other way.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
McLemore, the pass to Gasol. The three from Chalmers. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Chalmers. And now let's bring you the list of the top three-point shooting teams over the course of the past 10 games. In third, the Grizzlies.
The main factor, I think, is the great spacing. That has led to wide open long-range shots, and that's why we see the great numbers from the three.
Chalmers against Thomas. With the teardrop, rejected by Gasol. The shot by Thompson, no good.
The defense got super lucky there because he does not miss many of those.
Memphis leading by 17. Wright sets a screen. And Chalmers kicks to McLemore. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. McLemore's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Man, it looks like the defense is just giving up.
Thomas, good.
Oh, never shy about going inside. Thomas may be small, but he doesn't let that stop him.
Now Chalmers looking for his first basket still in this one. Gasol a screen. Daniels dishes to Gasol. McLemore, the pass to Wright. The shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Crowder. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Last season, Jay Crowder scoring far and away the most points of his career, over 14 a game. He's more of a secondary scorer, a spot-up shooter, and a good finisher at the rim.
And for Crowder, Chris, he doesn't try to do too much offensively. As they say, he stays in his lane.
That's right. He shoots corner threes. He has a good sense of when to cut to the rim. And without being flashy, he's a very effective offensive player.
Free throw good, Crowder.
And you talk about a culture builder. Jay Crowder is a guy who is not content with losing ball games. He's a competitor, and that rubs off on his teammates.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Davis is checked in for Gasol. And it's Harrison in for Ben McLemore. Morris is checked in for Boston. Shane Larkin comes in for Isaiah Thomas. And both free throws good from Crowder. And Jay Crowder at 6'6", 6'7", not the tallest guy at the forward spot, but he is solid.
So true. Everybody needs a perimeter player who can deal with those strength matchups. Crowder is physical. He doesn't back down from anybody. He's a difference maker on that defensive end.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it's always a transition and a difficult one for college coaches to come to the pros, but Celtics coach Brad Stevens made one of the smoothest we've seen after leading Butler to back-to-back national championship games. You hear that buzz from players to opposing coaches. Greg Popovich said, "I really respect what he does. His team executes. I'll still watch his Butler tape. Trying to learn some stuff, to be honest with you. High praise indeed, fellas."
And Popovich, really the godfather of the active coaches right now, D.A. His voice carries certainly a lot of weight in this league. Thank you. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Celtics trail by 16. Here's Brown. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Memphis has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Davis. A rebound by the Celtics. Morris kicks to Brown. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Brown's got 9.
And Brown is just utilizing his athleticism yet again. I mean, this time from the interior, though, but just sinking these close-range shots.
Wright with a screen on Brown. Here's Daniels. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
I mean, we know that this is a game of heart. He knew his man was bigger than him. No big story. He just calmly rose up, altered his body so that he could get the contact and put that shot up over.
And the wide open shot from Morris. Offline with his 3. And the Grizzlies leading by 16. Here's Davis. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart.
And as this chart shows, things just aren't falling for him like they usually do. He isn't ice cold, but nothing is falling his way, and he's become an inefficient source of points for his team.
The Grizzlies have gone 9 of 13 from the line. The first free throw is good. And both free throws good for Davis. Celtics trail by 18. Here's Larkin. He kicks it to Morris. Outside Crowder. Brown outside. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Oh, no, you're right. It's selfish on his part to attempt that. Should have passed it back out and tried to get a better look. And just dropping the ball down the side, a timely assist.
Austin's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. And Davis sends it back. Fast break Memphis. Daniels is running. And Thompson sends it back. And they get it back. Daniels kicks to Wright. For 3. Daniels, no good.
Not good shot selection. Long range and a defender all up in your jersey.
Well, I'm not even really sure why he even attempted that look. That's a low percentage of shots get.
Morris outside. Connects from three-point range.
Well, yeah, Morris is just a tremendous shooter. He has great touch from beyond the arc.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Grizzlies lead by 17. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. And meanwhile, Coach Brad Stevens talking to his team.
Pace of play is a big part of tonight, okay? Make sure on the bench when we come back, we lift it. We lift it.
One of the team's great young teachers, Brad Stevens, wanting his guys to control the tempo.
Yeah, and he feels if they push it, if they attack intelligently, it's going to be to their advantage.
And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. We've got Green. Baldwin out there with Harrison. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Davis in at the center, filling out the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Here's Baldwin. Pass to Harrison. Just 5 to shoot. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
Celtics ball.
Celtics trail by 17. Here's Larkin. Morris outside. Fires for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Green's got his 5th rebound in this one. Baldwin the pass to Green. Here's Davis. And Thompson sends it back. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Ben McLemore, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Celtics also with a sub. Hayward's checked in. Green, the screen. It's deflected.
Unbelievable rejection from Smart there. Really using his insane vertical to send that one back.
Larkin kicks to Horford. Morris outside. Hayward right side. Shoots the three. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Parsons outside. To the middle. Green, the screen. Now here's McLemore outside. And another miss by Memphis.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Larkin dishes to Horford. Pulls from the top of the key. Parsons with the rebound. And the Grizzlies leading by 17. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Parsons got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for Memphis. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one. Horford, the 18-footer, is right on the mark.
Pretty good defense there. But remember, Horford is one of the best shooting big men in the game. He wasn't fazed.
The Grizzlies have gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Davis sets a screen. There's the pick. Baldwin the pass to Green. Yep, that one goes in there. And the Grizzlies lead by 19.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Larkin kicks to Hayward. Lets it go from deep. Larkin can't get it to go. For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. McLemore dishes to Parsons. He can't get it to go. Hayward with some nice D. Celtics trail by 19. And the Grizzlies making a change here. Gasol's checked in. Then for the Celtics, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Morris. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Larkin. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Thomas. Here's Horford. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And while Horford can space the floor, I like him getting inside and using his strength to force the issue.
Free throw drops for Al Horford.
Okay, he's definitely trying to take it to the D in this second half, trying to get to that line.
So Horford gets 2. Memphis leading by 17. Here's Baldwin. Passes it to McLemore. Stolen by Smart. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
I like Smart using his size advantage on the interior. Nice work out there.
And the first one drops. And so Smart nails both of them. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Green. There's the feed to Gasol. Baines with the block. Now here's Thomas. He's tightly guarded. Picked by Horford. Outside Thomas. Here's Baines. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
And that's the part of Horford's game that doesn't garner much attention. Great at setting screens to spring open his teammates.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Celtics trail by 15. Smart wide open. He fires. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist. Thomas got assist number 11 for him here tonight. Here's Baldwin. It's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
Great resolve there on defense, allowing nothing easy.
Parsons against Hayward. Parsons attacking, and good that time. Parsons got 4 points in the quarter.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
There's the pick. Off the pick. It's rebounded by Memphis. Gasol's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work. Here's Baldwin. That one's not going to go. Now Boston takes it the other way. A ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
The tendency can be to really rush or push the game, and they need to avoid that. And the next one puts them in the bonus.
Horford the pass to Smart. It's stolen by Green.
He was playing flawless basketball up until that turnover.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul goes against Boston.
For your Grizzlies, Mark Gasol. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Mark Gasol. And so Gasol nails them both.
And right now at about 85% from the line, that's up from where it was in that first half.
Now here's Smart, guarded by McLemore. And there's the pass to Thomas. Boston, no good that time either.
Oh, Kevin, he positioned himself perfectly and had all the room to drop that one in, just couldn't get it to go.
And stolen by Horford. And Smart with a clear path to the hoop. Rejected by Gasol. They recover it. And the officials now calling the shooting foul. He got a lot of ball on the block, but also got the body. So some free throws coming up right now. First one falls for him. He's perfect from the line this time. And the Grizzlies leading by 14. Here's Baldwin. Down low. Here's McLemore. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And for Ben McLemore, Chris, it hasn't been an easy start to his NBA career.
Well, last year he took a bit of a step back in terms of his impact on the floor. Less minutes played, less shots for him. His efficiency was still there, but it seems he has some work to do before he becomes a major part of an offense.
That free throw good for McLemore.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
And McLemore drops them both.
Now with Ben McLemore, you see a lot of the P word in his game, potential. He has a great frame to build upon at the shooting guard position. He has the skill set to be a do-it-all shooting guard.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Outside Gasol. On its way from Parsons for two. And another miss by Memphis. And with McLemore and his upside, you have to remember to be patient with this young player.
Well, for scores like McLemore, it can be a tough adjustment in the NBA. He has shown that he can be a scoring threat in the league, but just needs more consistency. Eventually, everything might just fall into place for him.
And here comes Thomas leading the fast break. And Smart the bucket on the assist by Thomas. And that's now 11 points for Marcus Smart.
Well, it looked as if he would never find his game after that awful first half start, but he is really hitting his stride in the second.
And here's McLemore. Kicks to Parsons. And stolen by Hayward. Feeds to Baines. Smart with the ball. Now defended by McLemore. Just 5 to shoot. Thomas kicks to Baines. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Here's Hayward.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Here's Baldwin. The dish now to Green. He feeds it to Parsons. To the inside. Here's Gasol. And Boston with the rebound. And pushing it up. Here's Boston. Thomas's shot is off.
Well, they often look to him to provide for them on offense, and he simply isn't getting the job done today.
And again, Memphis no good.
He had all the room in the world to get that up, but somehow blew it by rushing it just a tad.
He dishes it to Horford from about 16, and the foul on Marcus Smart. That's foul number 2 for him. Memphis leading by 11. Baldwin the pass to McLemore. Parsons on the wing. Lays it up and banks it in. Parsons got 6 in the quarter.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Now here is Horford. Puts it up from 15, and that one drops for him. Horford's got 21.
Oh, man, and Horford, I mean, getting loose out there, having a game for himself offensively.
Here's Baldwin. Dishes to McLemore. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
Shooting for Memphis, Ben McLemore. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
The former Jayhawk McLemore, a gifted scorer who can really light it up in a hurry.
And McLemore drops them both.
After being a little hesitant in the first, he looked much more intent on getting himself to the strike.
Outside Thomas. He kicks to Horford. Tries it from 19. Gasol with the rebound.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
Gasol a screen. Here's Baldwin. Here's McLemore. The shot's good. McLemore's got 12 points here in the second half.
No, he has found himself in the second half after not being able to notch a single point in the first half.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey guys, well, I was able to listen in on what Brad Stevens was talking about with his players. He is not pleased, and he told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Outside Thomas. Pass to Horford. Hayward against Parsons. Hayward goes in. Here's Baines. 4 on the clock. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Baines has got 6 here in this quarter. So it's the Grizzlies now. Gasol's in the post. Baines is there.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Celtics trail by 15. Thomas with the ball. Takes a shot at the elbow. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
You just can't take away everything one way or another. Thomas is going to get buckets.
And for Memphis, they're shooting about 40% here in the fourth quarter. Passes it to Gasol. 1:35 left in the fourth quarter. Baldwin can't get it to go. Well, for the Celtics, this one not looking good. Hayward outside. Thomas kicks to Baines. Gasol with the rebound.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
That is phenomenal work down there in the thick of it. This is the kind of D you want to see from him every time down the court.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Grizzlies.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off. And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Gasol.
He was a one-man wall around the basket tonight. There were no easy shots in his neighborhood. He protected the rim with every ounce of effort that he had. That was a huge factor in this game.
Stolen by Thomas. Lets a floater go. Hayward's got space. Boston again missing. Here's Baldwin. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Mark, we know how important home court is, but especially for you guys down here in Memphis. What's the importance of defending that home court for the team?
We need to win. We need to win, especially at home. Home is always important, and we need every single one of them.
Yeah, FedEx was really kicking tonight, and you guys made that happen. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And as the fans file out of the building, now time to head over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present our Jordan player of the game, Marc Gasol. What can you say? Double-double on a big night. Of course, any victory is big, but he really seemed to put a little extra effort into this one.
There's not many legitimate centers in the NBA anymore, but Marc Gasol is legit. You got to worry about him everywhere on the floor. He'll beat you with his D or his post game.
That was some of the most passionate rebounding work I've ever seen. Guys aren't supposed to be capable of getting that many rebounds in a single game. He was just an animal on the boards. It was something special to behold.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everyone.